I want to thank you if you're tuning in. Just want to let you know if you haven't, don't forget to donate to ronpaul2012.com. And also just want to say in the last hour we're having a little audio issue, so I do apologize if you were listening. Just want to make sure that we're coming in clear now and that everything is fine for you. All right. So if you haven't heard already, despite the downpour, Ron Paul draws in 4,300 plus to rally on Independence Mall in Philadelphia. And just want to test my sound there. Now, something that just came out here literally about 30 minutes ago, Business Insider basically disses Ron Paul and his supporters for the most part. Let me read this to you. Dear Ron Paul fans, that's the headline. Here's the real reason no one writes about your candidate. Last week, along with many other members of the media, we got spammed by dozens of Ron Paul bots. The bots were appalled that we weren't fulfilling our obligations as journalists by writing about their candidate. They complained of a media blackout and the usual elite media conspiracy. Now, it says here, we assume plenty of smart people support Ron Paul, but we didn't hear from any of those people. We heard from bots that were apparently commanded by some Uber bot to spam media organizations with complaints disguised as actual notes. Well, in case there's any confusion, here's why we don't write much about Ron Paul. One, he has a zero chance of winning, so at this point, he's just shooting down a rain barrel. Two, Ron Paul is persistent and committed, which we admire, but a lot of people in the country are persistent and committed, and we don't write much about most of them either, because being persistent and committed doesn't make you newsworthy. If Ron Paul wants to keep wasting his supporters' money and time by campaigning until the bitter end, he's entitled to do that. It's a free country, and as long as Ron Paul supporters don't mind throwing their money down a rat hole, we don't mind the occasional whiny note complaining that we don't write about him enough. But enough with the Ron Paul bot spam, please. It's unbecoming for a candidate who prides himself on telling it how it really is. All right, first thing, let me smack Business Insider up real quick. First thing, he has a zero chance of winning. Then why is he winning right now? Why are we picking up most of the delegates? Why do we have the momentum? Why do we have the biggest crowds? And why is the GOP running scared? And if he has no chance of winning, why isn't Romney the nominee yet? And everybody's dropped out except Newt, which he's pretty much dropped out. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Ron Paul's persistent. We like that, blah, blah, blah. But most people in the country are persistent and committed, and we don't write much about them either. Yeah, but those people aren't congressmen. Those people aren't senators. They aren't politicians. Most of the time, politicians aren't persistent, and they aren't committed. So those are the ones you guys always talk about. Everybody else, but not Ron Paul, the one politician who's telling the truth, sticking to his guns, actually trying to let the people know what's going on, foresaw the terror attacks, foresaw the bubble crash, all of that. But we're not going to talk about him, though. He doesn't deserve it. So let's see. And the last point, if he wants to keep wasting his supporters' money and time and all that, let's see. The only person that's not in debt with their campaign is Ron Paul. And we can say Mitt Romney, but we know he gets establishment money, so that's why he don't have no debt. But Ron Paul has no debt, and he's getting $10, $20 donations from a bunch of people, but yet he's wasting his supporters' money, though. Meanwhile, Newt Gingrich, on the other hand, Newt Gingrich is costing the taxpayer $40,000 a day. And I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be complaining about Newt Gingrich supporters if they were doing the same thing. But let's see here real quick. I'm going to see if I can find that clip for you. That Newt Gingrich is basically costing us, by staying in the race, about $40,000 a day. That's a day. So let's see. I had put it up on my YouTube, and I'm trying to see if I can find it. The computer's all acting slow right now, so I do apologize. Let's see here. Let me try one more thing for you. Okay, so I wanted to pull up the clip, but my second audio is acting up right now on YouTube and won't let me see all of my videos that I have on YouTube, which makes no sense. Try this one more time. Okay, so yeah, anyways, basically they're saying that Newt Gingrich is wasting taxpayers' money a day, about $40,000, because he doesn't want to give up his Secret Service. So Ron Paul wasting people's money, the guy that doesn't want to take any Secret Service, the guy that's eating fast food and, reporting everything he spends. They already admitted that in the media. But yeah, he's the one wasting people's money. It's amazing, man. It's really amazing. And think about it. I mean, what other candidate shows himself more than Ron Paul? I mean, we got videos of where he's at, where he's going all the time, almost on a daily basis. But the other candidates, you don't get that type of interaction with them. You don't get that type of closeness with them. We got people in the campaign speaking to us, doing blogs, doing videos, Doug Weed, all that. They're interactive with us. The other campaigns aren't. So, Ron Paul's a lot more transparent, a lot more open so we can see what's going on. But apparently to them, that makes us dumb or Paul bots. Talking about, we assume some people that support Ron Paul are smart. It's ridiculous, man. Well, I'm assuming that whoever wrote this is a dumb, Henry Blodgett. So, yeah, this is at Business Insider. Just came out about 30 minutes ago. So hit them up with some more comments so they can get more mad and more upset. Crying. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see. What else did I want to drop into it now? But 13 minutes ago, Politico has the headline on here, Ron Paul is not quitting. Probably check that out later. So we know Ron Paul is not quitting, and that's why we have to continue to give him our money so he can stay in the race. And they're just saying that because they're upset. They don't want us to keep giving Ron Paul our money. They don't want us to keep supporting him because they got to keep answering questions. They got to keep dealing with things like this, all the comments and people exposing every media outlet that there is. I mean, my goodness. Again, how do you go to Pittsburgh, your hometown, and get no media coverage? You got to be Ron Paul for that to happen. It wouldn't happen to anybody else. If you haven't heard this morning, Rudy Giuliani came out and endorsed Mitt Romney this morning. I ain't really surprised by that. Rudy Giuliani's a clown. I don't even know why he was running last time. I mean, it just proved that the media is trying to push the candidate for us. Rudy Giuliani was one of the front runners last time. What happened to him? He disappeared out of nowhere. Was doing horrible in the race. John McCain came out of nowhere. It's like him and Rudy Giuliani switched places. McCain was doing nothing. Giuliani was one of the front runners. And then they kind of just switched off. Mitt Romney was never really doing much. And now supposedly he's the one that we're going to pick to beat Obama, though. Can't get no Democrats, no independents, can't even get conservatives. Everybody on the news got to speak for Romney. What should he say? What should he tell people? How can he get people excited? What does he need to come out with next? It's just all about a game. It's all a game. It's just the media telling you what the politicians got to do to trick you. They're telling you what they need to do to trick you, to make you happy, telling you what it takes to make you happy. Won't you listen to us for a change? CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and you know what it is that's going to make us happy. Getting rid of these people. I just don't understand it. Mitt Romney, the guy who flip-flops on everything, Democrats don't like him. He flip-flop on their issues. We don't like him because he's not real conservative. But yeah, this is the guy we're taking to represent us. And supposedly the whole country, majority of the country is upset with Obama. So this is the guy that's supposed to take him down. It's amazing, man. Try to tell these Obama supporters, Mitt Romney ain't no different. Obama ain't no different. They're all the same. Check out some headlines on RonPaul2012.com. GOP delegates refused to sign Romney pledge. I talked about it in the last hour. And that was great. 3 members of the Iowa conservative RNC delegation attended to enter the reception but were rebuffed after refusing to sign the delegate pledge. So a bunch of delegates tried to meet with Mitt Romney. If you did not sign your loyalty and say that you would vote for him on every ballot, you were not allowed in. And so some people got turned away. All right, so this is Paco. You're listening to Occupy the Media. We'll be back.
To choose the best Republican candidate, first establish the candidates that are of basic moral character. Then select only the candidates that poll well nationally against Obama in a head-to-head general election. Of these remaining candidates, which has presented a plan that balances the budget, pays down the debt, rejects corporate socialism, and will protect constitutional rights? The choice is clear. The best candidate, Ron Paul.
Is this dude serious?